When was your team founded? What was the story behind your team starting the adventure, robotics adventure? Generally?
So we were founded in 2003, and I don't know the complete story because it was a long time ago, but from my understanding, there were three main people who founded our team. One of them was named Mr. Cormier. He was a teacher at Woolkit High School, which is where our team's based out of. The other was named Mr. Van Fleet, and he was a parent of one of the first members on the team. And he was also, he works in the STEM field. And then there was a third founder who I'm not familiar with because he passed away prior to my joining the team. Our team was also kind of broke away from another FRC team. There used to be a team Gus, which is also in the Connecticut area. They used to be called Augustus Maximus, and I believe we kind of split in two, and they became Gus and we became Team Max.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do you think there is a balanced gender dispersion among your team members, or can you give us a ratio or a specific number that shows the gender dispersion among your team?
So we have, I believe it's somewhere around, it's close to 1-to-1, if not maybe a little bit more in favor of male. But it's close to 1-to-1. We have about 20 to 25 team members, and I'd say about 8 to 10 of them are girls each year.
Okay. So how is the sociological structure of your team? For example, do you have any members from different countries?
So our team is entirely based out of Woolkit High School. So we kind of are like, all of our members are from our high school. So it kind of like limits the variety of members we're able to have.
However, we are looking into getting an exchange student from Nigeria to join the team next year. We're actively pursuing that.
Kayra.
What are team's current project? Can you explain a few of your project to us?
So we have several projects that we work on within our community. One of them two of them are called Let's Make Stuff and Science Flash, and both focus on the elementary to middle school, or roughly like grades 8 to around 14-year-olds, and teaching them different STEM concepts. One of them, Science Flash, is where we go into different of the elementary schools within our school district, and we do different science experiments with them each day. And we do that for a week long, and they end up learning around 10 different science experiments. And then the other one is Let's Make Stuff, which are monthly events where we do different science projects with kids. Another huge part of our projects is the first teams and events we run. This year, we're running a first event at each level of first. And then we also run, this year in our town, we run, I believe, 13 first teams, including one FRC team, one FTC team, 3 FLL challenge teams, 3 FLL Explore teams, and then 4 FLL Discover teams.
Thank you for your answer. From projects your team has done in the past, are there any of them that have influenced you guys a lot?
Probably the biggest one is our younger first teams, because they've directly led kids to our FRC team. Like me and JT are both have been on the FLL teams we've had prior to joining the FRC team.
So we have a similar concept, like forming teams. When we go to these rural areas, like these schools in rural areas, we explain STEM and FIRST to them, and what are robotics. We talk about these stuff and do some activities with them, and try to entertain them because they are very young, and we try to explain them and try to encourage them to join these areas in STEM fields. So when we get a positive result from it, we form a FLL team in these schools, and we have a lot of like we mentor them, and there are a lot of teams that we formed and we mentor them. So it's a similar concept to us. So Iklim, could you ask a question?
What kind of process does your team go through while creating a project? According to which factors you make the distribution of tasks? Can you explain that the process to us by step by step?
So generally, most of our projects are really student run. So it's really, the process differs based on from project to project. One of the most recent projects we started was our first Laker League boot camp, which aimed at preparing kids to join an FLL challenge team. And we started that 3 years ago, and we've run it that summer, and then we run it 2 summers from then. And really the process started with it was really driven by students. So a student started the process, and then they went to one of our mentors. And once we got it approved, the first thing we did was advertise it. So we would advertise it to our town and within our different schools. And then from there, there was a lot of logistical work that went into just booking the area that we would run it in, getting all the supplies together, and then getting team volunteers. That's the rough process we take. And then there's obviously the execution of the event, but it really varies from event to event just because we don't really have a set system in place for all of our projects. It's a lot of student run stuff. And because of that, it really differs from project to project.
So we can move on to another question.
What are your goals as a team? What kind of studies do you guys do, or in order to achieve your goals? Can you imagine yourself achieving the goals of your team that you planned in 5 years?
So our team has a set of 5 strategic long-term goals that are roughly like 3 to 4 years. We hope to have them completed. One of them focuses on our first teams and specifically expanding our first program to roughly 20 teams in the next 3 to 4 years. Another one focuses on our STEM outreach programs and really just maintaining and growing the existing programs we have. Another focuses on just general community service that the team does and trying to increase the number of members of our team and increase the amount of community service that the team does as a whole. Our 4th strategic goal focuses on really mechanical things that our team does and making sure our FRC team, the knowledge of different machines that we've been using is making sure we modernize that process as well as make it institutional to ensure that all of our members understand those. And then so those are our strategic goals, and most of them are pretty plausible to us because they really focus on just stabilizing the team and making sure we're in a position of expansion rather than going through significant expansion. Because COVID really hit our team hard and left us with a lot younger of a team. And this is really just us making sure we can get all of our existing framework up and running and trying to making sure that we set up a sustainable system.
So we can ask this question then. How do you explain the sustainability concept? How important do you think sustainability is, whether in human life or whether in technology?
So in terms of sustainability, we look to find not new mentors. In the past, we've had to find new mentors every year for each of our younger teams that we run, but we're looking to find a long-term mentor because think that will commitment and create a better sustainable overall program and allow us to create more teams.
Okay, thank you. So
Does your team believe that in your country people give importance to FRC that it needs? If it's not, why? What can be done to increase that importance that is given to FRC?
So I think there's been a lot of steps taken within our country and within our town to increase the importance of the robotics programs. I know in the United States, they recently minted the, I'm forgetting her name, but Krista, I'm forgetting her last name, but they minted the coin and all of those proceeds went to FIRST. And there's several states, including I believe New Hampshire and Michigan, who have statewide had funding for FIRST teams. So I think definitely like there have been a lot of steps taken to do that. And within our own like school district or within our own town, I think there's also been a lot more of an emphasis put on that in recent years. Recently we've been working to try to like increase funding for different FIRST teams. So I obviously think there's still a lot of work to be done, and I don't think that enough emphasis is put on it, but I definitely think there are ways in which our country has done that.
So Sergi.
Okay, it's the last question. Can you share with us a funny memory that happened to you during a competition or tournament? Can you share with us?
I don't have any because I just recently joined the team. Joey, do you have anything?
We like to end the meeting with a in a fun way. So
I can see something that kind of happened more recently, because in 2020 we competed at one event before COVID shut everything down, and at that event we were accidentally named the Chairman's Award winner in the official system. So it was kind of crazy because we were being told to sign up for our district championship, but at the same time, if we did that, we couldn't win chairmans at any other events. So it was kind of a crazy moment and funny when we got accidentally named that.
yeah, like we wish that. So we can share a funny memory of our team too. So this year when we like joined the Chairman Awards presentation online, our mentor was supposed to join the meeting, but he couldn't, and he couldn't manage to join. So we had to call another like member of our team, and like he will join as our mentor, but he really isn't. But that's how it works. But at least we did our presentation. So yeah, like our mentor forgot the presentation, which is like the most important thing for us. And yeah, that's funny and a tragic memory for us. Yeah. So thank you for answering our questions. Thank you for your time, and we hope to see you again later
in other projects.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having us, and good luck in the next FRC season.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.